Hey guys, Jay! Welcome back to the channel. So guys, ToyFair 2023 is well underway, and there are so many wonderful toy tubers who are covering the event, including the likes of Pixel Dan and good friend of the channel, ToyShiz. Definitely head over to both of their Instagram accounts and YouTube pages to check out all of the coverage for ToyFair 2023. You guys won't want to miss it. As a matter of fact, even Mad Hatter has gotten into the action, doing some wonderful reviews on many of these photos which we're seeing today. But today, guys, we got a crazy announcement out of left field of all places for something that we had reported on much earlier in the year. Guys, the Turtles of Grayskull has finally been revealed at some booth. I believe it is at ToyFair. But this came as a complete shock to everybody. We had no idea this was even going to be showcased. This comes out of absolutely nowhere, and I'm really excited to take a deep dive into this and see exactly what was shown. So guys, without further ado, let's take a deep dive and see exactly what was revealed at ToyFair, I think? It's really hard to narrow that down, but it did get revealed somewhere, and I'm really interested in seeing what we might be getting in 2024? Let's have a look. Wow. Guys, this has been an absolute revelation in many ways. If you'll remember, a few months ago, I did a report on the possibility of a upcoming Master Universe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, and there were a lot of variables involved with this particular report. As a matter of fact, it wasn't really sure if any of it was true. Again, everything was more or less back in the idea of rumors. After all, the first inklings of a Master Universe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover was in the form of a crossover comic book a number of years ago, which did not actually make it to print. The artwork of Freddie E. Williams has come to the forefront in so much as when this rumor started, a lot of people did direct themselves to this overall concept art for the original comic book. It's been since noted that this is no longer canon, and they're not actually going to go forward with this particular designs, which were created by Freddie E. Williams himself. However, if you are interested in the original designs of that original comic book, they are for sale on his website, and you can take a look and see which ones are still available, as many of them have already been sold out. These are great designs, guys, and I really do encourage you to have a look at them, if only to realize what could have been done. Yesterday, of course, was the start of ToyFair 2023 in New York, and many toy tubers are there covering the event. But today, I got an interesting message from Joe on Instagram, who gave me this, what he called a little leak. And I gotta tell you, my mind was absolutely blown away. So I want to take a deep dive into this and see exactly what was posted on Instagram, which I think many of us are going to be absolutely thrilled with. Clicking on the link, unsurprisingly, leads us over to Canal dos Rosmineiros, who made this post earlier this morning. And guys, this has had its own controversies in the past, but let's take a look at what was posted today. There it is, everybody. There is the Turtles of Grayskull first packaging design, what some people are calling a leak, but this actually looks like it's at some sort of trade show. It still remains to be seen if this is actually at the toy show in New York, but it can't be denied that this is definitely some sort of packaging design somewhere. The post goes on to say, "It's coming, folks. The MOTU and Ninja Turtles Origins style crossover is near. This appears to be the first image of what they will look like, and did you like it?" I am personally very intrigued by this overall design, and it looks like a lot of people are sort of chiming in to say whether they like it or not. But let's take a little bit of a closer look and see what can be determined from this overall packaging design. On first glance, it really does have the style of Master Universe. After all, we can see that the title of the series is going to be Turtles of Grayskull, which was already confirmed in multiple reports, including those coming from adultcollector.org. This is probably still a very early design prototype for the packaging design itself. You can see a lot of illustration work in the background, Leonardo as the title character, and what appears to be a possible layout for a blister card positioning for Leonardo on the front. Zooming in, we can see some more details of this particular pack out. I love the illustrations that are presented here. it really does give the idea that this is a brand new series and possibly might have its own mini comics associated with them. We can see here He-Man is right directly in the top left-hand corner, holding his power sword, reaching out, getting ready for battle. Leonardo, on the other hand, is on the right-hand side. We can see two of his swords, and they look wonderful. We'll take a closer look into those in a minute. The Turtles of Grayskull logo, and if we move down further, this is really interesting. Examining what's happening here, it looks like, similar to the way the Masters of the Universe are, we see rocks just bursting out in an exploding fashion. But if we look even more closely, we can see that these are actually pipes, which are embedded within that rock. So is this actually more like concrete, which is being exploded because of the power of the character within? Interesting. We can see that this is the Leonardo version of the backing card, and on the front, we can see what appears to be a layout, not an actual card itself, but the blister layout for the character within. And we finally get to see our first glimpse at what these turtles are going to look like for the Turtles of Grayskull. Leonardo looks crazy here, and if the illustration looks anything like the toy will eventually look like, this is going to be a lot of fun. Zooming in, we can see the signature turtle head. This, of course, cannot be anyone else except for Leonardo. He's got that signature grimace of the Turtles from the Playmates style, very much in keeping with the Playmates original line from the 1980s. But instead of his traditional straps, which hold his swords on his back, now they are replaced with a more He-Man-esque type of strap layout. It says L right on the front of the straps themselves, replacing the Iron Cross of He-Man traditionally, but we can see that there might be cordite, which is going to be embedded into the tops of the straps. He seems to be sporting a more fleece type of garment right behind his shoulders. Does this mean he'll actually be wearing something on top of his shell? On his arms are actually pauldrons, and these look very much like turtle shells. Now, this is nothing new. They've actually had something like this in the past with samurai-type armor for the turtles, but I really do like the idea that these could possibly be removable, and this is a new look for this particular version of the Master Universe crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's also sporting one side gauntlet, very reminiscent of the He-Man action figure, and he has those two signature wrist guards, which are almost indicative of Master Universe proper. In the back, we can see that he will be sporting his signature turtle shell, but he also has a waist belt. That's going to be an interesting idea, and how they're going to affix that to his back, I have no idea. It appears as if his shell is only sitting on his back instead of actually being part of his carapace in the front and the rear. This is absolutely different compared to the other versions of Turtles that have come before, and he seems to have a much slenderer waist compared to Turtles in the past. The sash along with the belt are very much in line with the Master Universe, something like Skeltor would wear, but I really do like the way it looks overall. We can see Leonardo sporting much the same legs that he's had in the past, but again, because of the waist and the way it's designed, it looks a little bit more slender, a little bit more sleek. And he is wearing what appears to be the top half of Master Universe boots. But if we look very, very carefully underneath this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo, we can actually see that he's actually not wearing any boots at all. These are actually bare feet, much like the way Turtles have always walked around, but it could be that they're more like sandals. It's hard to tell with this particular angle. There's some measurements here along with the release date. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, these might be ready in time for March 21st of 2024. If this date is to be believed, that's really not that far away, guys, meaning that we could possibly see these in as little as 6 months. That would be absolutely incredible. Heading back up to see a few more of the illustration details, He-Man seems to be very, very traditional with his power sword and his overall appearance. It still remains to be seen what he will look like in this version, as these ones are specifically made by Playmates themselves. But if we move over to Leonardo in the corner, check it out, everybody. This is where things get really, really interesting. If we zoom in closer, we can actually see that he has a very stylized versions of his katana. These have never been seen before, and if I'm not mistaken, they do actually retain a sort of half and half idea for the two different swords. Does that mean that these two swords can actually come together and join to become one sword? This is really giving off a familiar vibe for this type of design, considering the fact that originally Freddie E. Williams III actually designed this whole idea. As a matter of fact, in this original illustration, we can see that Leonardo actually has two halves of the original power sword. Very similar to the mythos of the original Masters of the Universe, where both power swords would need to be joined together to create the full power sword in order to gain access to Castle Grayskull. This is incredible. And it's really interesting that they would bring over maybe a concept of that or a type of homage to that in this new design for Leonardo. It still remains to be seen if that's actually true, but I would really like to think that it's possible. As a matter of fact, I am hoping that at some point there will be a mini comic included with this particular pack out. And do we dare hope and dream that Freddie E. Williams III may actually be invited to illustrate these wonderful little mini comics? After all, everything started with his overall designs, and I really hope that he gets a chance to complete the work he started many, many years ago. Holy crap, everybody, that's absolutely insane. Now, this was showcased at a booth somewhere. It still has to be 100% confirmed that this is ToyFair. Honestly, Canal dos Rosmineiros didn't actually say exactly where it was posted. Neither did Statoverse, who actually also was reporting on this as well. It's kind of weird to find out where this was. It looks, the booth itself appears to be perhaps Mattel, but it's kind of weird, and you would really try to figure out where this was, because it's not Mattel who's producing these toys. It's actually Playmates in a collaboration between these two companies. So, I really don't know if this is 100% confirmed as a prototype, or if it's just another rumor, and we might see this, or at least another variation of this in the near future. After all, the date on the packaging appears to be March 21st of 2024. That's about 6 months away. So, revealing something like this at ToyFair, I guess it makes sense considering that, you know, you want to start getting some interest in the overall brand as it is, and maybe get some interested parties to even purchase this and put it into retail. But such an early prototype at this stage, it's not even fully colored, it's actually mostly just illustrations, is an interesting choice, bar none, for any company to actually be revealing this early. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts about this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Master Universe crossover, the Turtles of Grayskull line? Are you going to be interested in picking this up and seeing these new designs for this actual version of the Master Universe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures? Are you interested in them at all? After all, we've seen some prototypes which kind of got leaked and circulated around the net, but they were quickly taken down after some controversy. And I'm wondering if this is just more of the same, or if this actually was an official reveal and they're starting to gain interest in both the fans and, of course, retailers who might be interested in picking them up. Or are you not interested in this at all, and the whole concept of it is kind of foreign to you, or you just rather have exactly what they are, Turtles or Master of the Universe? Guys, let me know those comments in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. And if you're in the position to help the channel, please check out my Patreon page. It's MegaJRetro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons and channel members of this channel help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do it without them. They are the best. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really means the world to me. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Cowabunga! Good journey, everybody. Geek proud. I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. Thank you so much, everybody. It's thanks to your support that this channel continues to grow, and I really could not have done this without you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It really means a lot and really helps the channel to keep growing.